Hi friends, welcome to our YouTube channel Civil with Sudhir. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the strength of material previous year question on stress strain transformation that has already asked in SSC JEE as well as KPSC JEE, right? So all that we will discuss in today's video, and these are our social platforms. That is, this is a Telegram channel, right? This is our Telegram channel Civil with Sudhir. You can join, and link is in the description box. And this is our Facebook group. You can join there also, KPSC Civil AJ study point. So I am active on both, you can join there. And this is our YouTube channel Civil with Sudhir. So make sure that you can click on the subscribe button, and please like, comment and share this video to all your friends whoever require this type of videos. Okay, so the today's first question on the stress strain, that is related to the stress strain. First question is, the plane carrying maximum shear stress are. Always remember, the plane carrying maximum shear stress, what we can say, that is a, see, this is a circular, right? Circular, and we can draw this one like this. This is a what? The Mohr circle. Plane of max shear stress is inclined at 90 degree from the principal planes. First of all, understand what is principal plane. This is a principal plane. Okay, and this is what? At the center, this is what? This is a plane of maximum shear, this one. So you can see this is a 90 degree. This is toe max, right? The maximum shear stress. So toe max is 0 here, and toe max is maximum here, and toe minimum is at this point, right? You have to draw the line. So this is a 45 degree. Okay, on an element, plane of max shear stress is inclined at 45 degree from the principal plane. You have to remember the maximum shear stress is inclined at 45 degree, right? So what is the answer for this question? So answer for this question is, it is inclined at 45 degree to principal planes. See, you can see the plane of maximum normal. This is what condition we can say, on an element plane of maximum shear stress is inclined at 45 degree of principal plane. So this is the actually, this is like, this is a member, right? So when you rotate, it will gives the in this direction, right? It is like this, right? So when you rotate in this direction, it will look like this is a T minimum, that is the stress, permissive stress minimum. This is maximum value, right? So this is a plane of maximum normal shear. This is a 45 degree plane of maximum shear stress. So this is a toe max, and this is a toe max, and this is one, that is the minimum. So average of that one is, that is a shear stress, we can say maximum plus minimum by 2. So this is a formula you have to remember. So next question, we will go to the next question. Question number 2. So for such element, so this is the element they have given, right? And this is a stress they have given. For such element under normal stresses, the radius of Mohr circle is what? Right? So what is a Mohr circle? Let me draw this one so that we can understand easily by drawing the drawing of the given question. So we can say this is a stress to one, right? Stress, and here also they are given like this, delta, sorry, stress 1, stress is equal to stress 2, and this one. Okay, so whenever, right, it is like this, two arrows, this is compression. So you can see there is a compression here now. So we can say this is an what? This is compressive stress. This is compressive stress, right? So next one is at the bottom, delta equal to delta 1. That is a tensile stress, right? They are going away from the point, that is a tensile stress. Now if I draw what the plane of stresses, how to identify that one, I will draw this line like this, and this is a radius, okay, and this is a toe value, and this is toe max, right? tau max equal to this one delta value. Here we can say this one also this value, here also this one. Okay, so what is the value? Here we can say this is 2 comma 0, this is minus 2 comma 0. At the bottom we can say it is tau value, at the top it is tau max, right? So the compressive principal stress, compressive principal stress, compressive principal stress, compressive principal stress is equal to what? That is the this one, this value. Okay, then tensile principal stress, tensile principal stress, tensile principal stress is what? That we call it as an delta comma 0. Now radius, now what we have to calculate? That is a radius of Morse circle. So we want this one, we want this one. Morse circle equals to what? Delta 1 minus delta 2, or stress 1 minus stress 2, right? So minus of minus divided by 2. So it is what? Tau max equals to 2. Right? So the center, at the center what is the value? It is 0 comma 0. Right? So the answer is A. A is the answer for this question. Next question, question number 3. In case of biaxial stress, the maximum value of shear stress is given by. Maximum value, how will calculate? Maximum value of shear stress. For example, let me draw the diagram so that this is a block, this is a element, right? What is this value? We can say this one, and here like this, right? So this is a delta P1, and this is a delta P2, and this is delta P2, and this one also delta P2. Okay, P1 P1 P2, sorry, this one also P1 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 P2 P2. Now if you draw the same diagram, right? If you draw the same diagram, what we've done already. So what is the value here? It's the tau max, right? And this is what? Shear stress here, shear stress, right? This is shear stress, and here this is normal stress, normal stress. Okay, now this is the tau max, or we can say tau average. Okay, now delta P2 is equal to comma 0, delta P2 comma 0, and this is delta P1 comma 0, right? And this one what we call? This is a T max comma T average, right? Now maximum value of shear stress is equal to what? Maximum value of shear stress, maximum value of shear stress is equal to what? Radius of Morse circle, radius of Morse circle, that is the delta P1 minus delta P2 divided by what? 2. So the half of the difference of the normal stress and the what? Delta P1 and delta P2 value should be put within the sign, right? So the what is the answer for this question, we can say? So the answer for this question is, that is a half of the difference of the normal stress, half of the difference of the normal stress. In a Morse circle, right, this is a stress, right? Tau minus T plane, that is a normal stress and shear stress. This is normal stress and this is the shear stress. normal stress and shear stress. The vertical diameter represents in Mohr circle, right? What actually they are asking, what they are asking means, let me draw the circle, right? This is a circle, and if I put this one line and here another line, we can say easily this is shear stress. Clear? I will tell you one more time, this is shear stress. Okay, and this is Mohr circle, this is Mohr circle, and we can say at this point this is T minimum, T minimum comma 0, T minimum comma 0, right? Here at this point we can say to max, shear stress is max, and to average, right? So this one, this dotted line, what this represent, this is what this represents, what maximum shear stress, maximum shear stress, this is maximum shear stress. And here this one we call it as normal stress, this one is normal stress, normal stress at this is B point and this is A point, right? In B point to max comma 0, right? And at the bottom what, minus of to max comma 0 or to average. So these are the values you have to remember. Now in the question, in Mohr circle, if normal stress minus shear stress, the vertical diameter represents what? That is the average of what? To max plus to minimum divided by 2, right? 2 max by 2 minimum divided by 2 is the answer for the given question. See, every point on the circle of that we can say that is an stress as point A and point B. Okay, and the shear stress are 0 and normal stresses are maximum and minimum. This is a maximum and minimum values, I am just indicating that one. So minimum and maximum normal stresses are called principal stresses. I will write here minimum and maximum principal stress, principal stress called as what we called, that is the principal, sorry, minimum and maximum normal stress. Okay, well, normal stress we call it as an principal stress, we call it as principal stress, right? So the answer for this question is maximum shear stress. Next question, question number 5. At a point in a strained material, if two mutually perpendicular tensile stresses of 2000 kg per centimeter square and 1000 kg per centimeter square are acting, then the intensity tensile stress on a plane inclined at 15 degree to the axis of the minor stress will be what? Right? What actually they are telling, for example, for the given question, so this is the element, right? So actual there are two different, 2000 is what? Perpendicular, if two mutually perpendicular tensile stresses, so they are going away, so 200 kg per centimeter square, these are the tensile stress. Now what is the actually compressive stress? What is the compressive stress? They have given 100, sorry, 100 or 1000, huh? Okay, let me check the problem. Yes, 1000 kg per centimeter square, it is a compression one. Okay, so this is a measure you have to remember now. But after this one, what they are telling, then the intensity, right, the tensile stress on a plane inclined at 15 degree to the axis of the minor stress. So what is the minor stress here? If I draw the diagram like this, right, so we can say this is A point, this is A means, right? So this is what, 15 degree, this is 15 degree, this is 15 degree. Okay, so this is what we can say, this is the axis of minor stress, axis of minor stress, axis of minor stress, right? So this is the axis of minor stress. Now representing what, representing the element of the Mohr circle, the element of the Mohr circle, element of Mohr circle, what it represents, right? What actually it represents, let me draw so that you can understand easily. So this is a circle, right? So if I draw one line here, right? So they are telling that this is a values they have already given. I can write here, this is the 1000 comma 0, okay, and at the center, right, at the center, if I do like this, right, I think you can remember easily. Yes, now, so this is what the radius, actually radius we required, this one radius, okay. So this is the 1500 given in the question also, 1500, and this is 2000 comma 0, and this value is the what, this is a normal stress and this is a shear stress, right? And now we have to calculate this one, so we can take like this one, right? So we can take here also if you want. Now at the center, now at the center, what we can say, that is the 1500 comma 0 at here, at the center, what we can say, that is a 1500 comma 0. Now radius, how to calculate radius, radius by seeing the sketch, what we can say, 2000, okay, 2000 minus 1000 divided by 2 equals 500, okay. So the normal stress equals 1500 plus r what, cos 30 degree, or cos 30 degree. I am taking this portion, you can see. Now I think you are clear, you got the clear idea, right, or cos theta. Now after calculating this one, the answer is 1933 Newton per mm square, right? So the normal stress are what, plane, normal stress are plane at where, A means this one, this is A1, this is the axis of minor stress, right? So that one we can calculate by stress to x, that is a normal stress at x and y, divided by 2 plus normal stresses x plus y divided by 2 cos 2 theta plus 2xy, that is the shear stress along xy, sin 2 theta, sin 2 theta. Now we have to put all the value, we will get the answer, 2000 plus 1000 divided by 2 plus 2000 minus, okay, 1 minute, okay, this one is negative value, 2000 minus divided by 2 cos 30 degree plus 0. So what is the value now, 1933 Newton per millimeter square is the answer for the question, okay. So what is the actual answer now, see, 125, okay. So none of the above, actually none of the above, because the option is not given here, So the option is none of the above. Next question. The ratio of tangential and normal components of a stress on an inclined plane through theta, right, theta degree to the direction of the force. What actually we call it as, that is, let me draw what actually they are telling, the ratio of what, tangential and normal component. What is a normal component? For example, this is an element, right, and this is a line passing like this, or we can say axis a, consider a or a dash, okay, and this is a stress, we can say here normal stress, or this one is tensile stress. So and this is the line, we can say it will divide. Now this is what, this is theta. Now what actually they are telling in the question, the ratio of tangential and normal component, this is the normal, right. So the what actually the tangential how it come, for example, if this is line is like this half, if I taken only this one, right, this one only this portion, right, only this portion if I taken, right, there is a stress, and this is what, this is theta shear stress, and this one is the what, normal stress according to that one. So this is a dash and this is a, right. Now how we can solve this one, we know that the normal stress what, according to a, right, that we can write is equal to 2 cos square theta, this is a normal stress. Now shear stress, normal stress, normal stress. Now shear stress, shear stress formula, what is the shear stress formula, that is according to a dash, normal stress according to a dash. What is the formula, 2 equals to sine theta cos theta, sine theta cos theta, right. After this one we can write like this, normal stress divided by, sorry, I'll write here 2 divided by normal stress in natural, right, 2 sine theta cos theta divided by 2 cos square theta is equal to what, tan theta. Okay, so this is the normal condition. What they are actually telling, if you taken only the what, the inclined plane through the theta, right, this is a theta value, okay, and the direction of the force they are asking, that is the tan theta is the answer for this question, tan theta. Next question, question number 7. According to the maximum strain energy theory, yield locus is, what is a yield locus, what is yield locus? So according to the maximum strain energy, what we can say, right, that is a for no failure maximum strain energy, I will write here, according to what, maximum strain energy, maximum strain energy, strain energy for no failure maximum strain energy per unit volume should be less than or what, equal to the strain energy per unit volume under uniaxial loading when the material is stressed to the yield stress. This is the definition, but it is not required for you, right. But here they are what asking, right, here they are asking about what, according to maximum strain energy, yield locus is where, yield locus as per maximum strain energy theory, where it is in the an ellipse. Let me write the formula so that you can understand, or else I will directly write here, yield locus as per max strain energy theory, max strain energy theory. strain energy theory. What is that one? So if we draw like this, okay, 1 minute. Right, so this portion, total portion, if we divide like this, right, so what this one value, 2 square y by fy, 2 square y by fy. So failure by yielding, this one is failure by yielding, failure by yielding, yield. So that is at that point, but here no yielding, no yielding, no yielding. So this value is what, to 1 by fy, to 1 by fy. So maximum principal stress theory, what it actually tells, maximum principal theory, maximum principal theory, what actually this one says, that is the stresses, right, stress 1, stress 2 is more than this one, and stress 3 are more than that, right. So what is the stress 1? We can say this is delta 1, we can say that is less than or equal to fy by factor of safety, right, that is a factor of safety. This is about the maximum principal theory, stress theory. Maximum principal strain theory, what, maximum principal strain theory, strain theory, maximum principal strain theory, what actually it will tells, that is stress of mu delta 2 minus mu delta 3, right, it should be less than fy divided by factor of safety, right. This is a factor of safety in the formula, and for this it will appear like this. So this is what, delta 2 by fy, and this is delta 1 by fy, and for this one, what is the value, this is it is like this, okay, for this dou square y. So this one is also same. So maximum shear stress theory, now another one, maximum shear stress theory, shear stress theory. What is the maximum shear stress theory? That is delta 1 minus delta 3, it should be less than of factor of safety, sorry, fy divided by factor of safety, fy divided by factor of safety, where delta 1 or stress 1, stress 2 are more than each other, right. So this is about the some maximum strain energy theory. You have to remember some points according to this. So the answer for this question is an ellipse. An ellipse is a yield locus at that point. Next question, the normal and tangential, okay, the normal and tangential, the normal and tangential components of stress on a inclined plane through theta to the direction of force will be equal to the what? They are asking the normal and tangential component, normal and tangential component of stress on a inclined plane through. How we can solve this type of question? So first of all, this is a circle, right. So this is a normal shear stress, rho 1 we can say, right, this one, right, normal stress or tensile stress. So this one we can write like this, okay. So Mohr circle is center at the origin, Mohr circle is center at origin. So angle in Mohr circle between the normal and tangential component is what? 90 degree. I can say angle Angle between which one? Normal stress. Angle between normal and tangential. Normal and tangential component is how much? 90 degree. Now in actual condition, right, in actual condition, what angle between normal and tangential is 45 degree. Actual condition, I will write here, angle between what? Normal and tangential. Normal and tangential component is, what is the angle? It is 45 degree. This is 90 degree. Now, so what is the answer for this question? We can say this is the 45 degree is the answer for the given question, because normal and tangential component of stress are inclined, they are selling through the theta, and the direction of force will be always, that is a 45 degree. You have to remember, or else we have another method, you can calculate that one also. Next question, we will go to the next question. Question number 9. The locus of the end point of a resultant of the normal and tangential components of the stress on an inclined plane is what? Stress on an inclined plane, how we will calculate? Either circle, parabola, ellipse or straight line. Right? What actually they are asking is the locus of end point of the resultant of the normal and tangential component. So the locus of end point of the result of normal and tangential component of stress on inclined plane is circle, known as Mohr circle. Right? So up to this, if you don't know what is Mohr circle, you can see here locus of end point of result of normal stress, right, and tangential component of the stress on an inclined plane circle is known as Mohr circle. You can see this is in y direction, this is in x direction. Stress, we can say this is the tensile stress, this one, and we can say this is in what, compression, sorry, all are compressed because they are going away, and this is shear stress, and this is a plane they are selling. So after seeing here, you can see this one, this point is toe average and toe max, and this is x and this is y. So this is minimum and this one is maximum, and this is a point O. Now principal stress are stresses that act on the principal surface. Principal surface has no shear force component, that means toe xy is equal to 0. Maximum and minimum value of the stresses at principal surface is called as principal stress. Maximum and minimum value, we call it as, that is a principal stress. So the maximum shear stress, second point, maximum shear stress is given by what? Highest point on the circle, and it is represented by the radius of the circle, and it is represented by the radius of the circle, means where the radius we are taking here. For example, if you take on the radius, this one, right, so it is the highest point on the circle and it is represented by the radius of the circle. Maximum shear stress. Any two plane making an angle, right, the stress element, then the same plane makes an angle 2 times of that angle at the center of the Mohr circle, right. So the answer for the given question is what? That is a circle is the answer for the given question. Next question. Principal planes are subjected to what? Principal planes are subjected to what? Principal planes are always subjected to normal stresses only, right? They are always normal stresses only. How? Let me draw the diagram so that you can understand one more time very easily. So this is again what? This is a normal stress. This is a normal stress, and here what it is? It is shear stress. It is shear stress, right, to max. Okay, so what is the value of this one? This is the what? This one is T average and to max, and at this point what is the value? 2 comma 0, delta 2 or normal stress comma 0, at this point it is T average. Okay, so what now I will give the point name. This is A and this is B. A and B are the what? Principal stresses. A comma B are principal stresses. Principal stress. Principal stresses. So shear stress at this point is equal to 0. So shear stress is 0 at this point. Shear stress is 0 at A and B. Right? Are you getting the point? What actually they are telling? So the principal planes are subjected to normal stress only. Maximum shear stress theory for the failure of a material at the elastic limit is known as. So what is the maximum shear stress theory? Can you explain me? So the maximum shear stress theory is also known as what? Tresok, Guest and Colombo theory. Maximum shear stress theory. So this theory states that what? Maximum shear stress should be less than or equal to. It should be less than, that is the maximum shear stress should be less than or equal to maximum shear stress under uniaxial loading. So maximum shear stress under uniaxial loading, like, so Fi is Fi by 2. So maximum of, right, the shear stress maximum and shear stress minimum by 2, and shear stress maximum by 2 or shear stress minimum by 2 or less than Fy by 2. So this theory is applicable for ductile material. This method gives the most conservative design out of various other theories of the failure. Not suitable for hydrostatic loading, because under hydrostatic loading what will happen? So this shear stress maximum and minimum are equals to the normal stress. So the shear stress maximum should be 0 for this one. So the maximum principal stress theory, that is we can say Rankins theory, maximum principal theory, strain theory, St. Venant theory, maximum strain energy theory, that is Bechtamy height theory, maximum shear strain theory is energy theory, distortion energy theory or Huber Hanke on Missy theory. So these are the names you have to remember. These are the names you have to remember. Sometimes they may ask the short questions. Next question. If normal stresses due to longitudinal transfer loads on a bar, right, what we can say, there is a normal stress 1 and normal stress 2 respectively. Normal component of the stress on an inclined plane theta to the longitudinal load is what? How can we calculate this one? Let me draw the diagram. Okay, so I think I have already drawn the diagram. You can see. So this is a what? The stress 1, stress 2, stress 2. So what actually they are asking? The longitudinal transverse load on a bar, normal component of stress on an inclined plane. Again they ask inclined. This is normal. I will write this is normal and this is inclined. Normal and inclined. So if you take an inclined portion, this is delta 2, that is normal stress 2, delta A cos theta, here delta A sin theta, right, and this portion will become x or y, right, this one is delta A. Now what we have to do, the next is the, let me say the, let area of plane, which plane? Area of the plane, that is A to C, right, A to C be what? This is delta A, delta A. So area of the plane BC to be what? Area of plane BC be what? Delta A what? Sin theta, delta A sin theta. Now next, for equilibrium condition, now we have to equate with the equilibrium condition. Equilibrium condition, summation of the horizontal moments should be 0, right. So how can we write that one? x, right? Stress x, normal stress x into delta, you can see this one, and delta value minus of stress 1 delta a sin theta, delta a sin theta. Delta a sin theta is nothing but bc value, this value we are taking, and bracket close sin theta minus of stress 2 delta a what cos theta, right, and cos theta is equal to 0. So how can we write now? That is the delta dash x is equal to 1 sin square theta plus delta 2 cos square theta. Right? This is a one formula you have to remember. Okay. So now what actually they are asking, right? So that is a, we got, I think already we got the given question answer we got, but if they ask you for the another question in the same way, in different ways, you have to calculate it with the same equations, right? So the given answer for the question is delta 1 sin square theta plus delta 2 or the normal stress 2 cos square theta is the answer for the given question. Next question. Maximum principal stress theory for a failure of a material at elastic limit is known as. What is the maximum principal stress theory for a failure of a material at elastic limit is what? That is, we can say Lami's theory or maximum stress theory, right? Lami's theory or maximum stress theory, or we can say what? For maximum principal stress theory, Rankine theory or Lami's theory or maximum stress theory. For no failure, max principal stress should be less than or equal to the yield stress under biaxial loading. Tau max is less than the Fy. So this is the formula I already explained in the previous questions only. So this theory is applicable for the brittle material because it will fail under the tension leading to fracture. So the not suitable for the ductile material and not suitable for the pure shear cases. Okay, so the answer for this question is what? Rankine's theory. Next question, question number 14. Which of the following statement is true? Let me read all the statements. Sum of normal stress is constant, sum of normal stress is variable, right? Sum of the normal stresses depends, or none of the above. Always remember, right, in the plane stresses, right, the sum of normal stresses exerted on the cubical element of material is independent on the orientation of the element. Means if any different element they are given, right, so the normal stress what will happen of an cubical content means length, breadth into depth of that material is independent of the orientation, means how it has placed, how it is actually placed on the any element or on the ground or weight. So that is depends on that one. So proof you can see, right, proof you can see, right. So this is a question they have given like this. So delta stress in x and tau xy with a normal and shear stress acting on the plane AC, normal to the which positive and x direction is. So then what we have actually do, we have to do, right, so tau x is equal to, right, tau x plus tau y by 2 plus tau x minus tau y by 2 cos 2 theta plus tau xy. This is a shear stress in the xy and sin 2 theta. This is the first one. And second one, xy direction, tau x minus tau y divided by 2a sin 2 theta plus tau xy cos 2 theta. This one also important, as tau y is obtained by replacing theta with theta plus 90 degree. So the equation will become like this: tau x plus tau y by 2 minus tau x by 2 minus my by 2 cos 2 theta minus 2 xy sin 2 theta. So from A and C what we get? Tau x plus tau y and tau x dash by tau y dash. Hence we can prove that it is same what they have given. Okay, so the sum of the normal stress is what? We can say that is a constant here. I think you got the clear idea about the what I want to explain about that one. Sorry. Next question. In case of biaxial stress, the maximum value of shear stress is given by biaxial stress. Right? They are asking about the biaxial stress. In that, what actually we have to do first? Difference of the normal stress, sum of the normal stress, or half of the normal stress. Which one? Let me tell you. So these are the value. Okay, these are the value. Okay, so these are the. So this is in the x. This is in the x direction, y direction, and z direction. So they have given the values also. This is the normal stress 1, normal stress 2, or we can say z1. So in the case of what? Plane stress condition. Plane stress condition. In plane stress condition, what actually it will come? So delta 1 or stress 1 or stress 2 are the principal stresses. Principal stresses or principal stresses. Then the first one, for rotation about z axis, the stress condition is how? Okay, let me show you the sketch. You can understand easily. Right, this one. So this will become like this. You know all these values already because we already drawn. Right. So what is the first condition? They have given rotation about z axis. Rotation about z axis. Stress condition is what? Rotation about z axis. So tau max is equal to, sorry, shear stress max is equal to 1 minus 2 divided by 2, right? So this is the value of the shear stress, maximum shear stress, half of the difference of the principal stress, we can say half of the difference of the principal stress. Now if second one, for rotation about y axis, if rotation about y axis, stress condition is what? Yes, this one, and this is like this, right? Okay, here this is 0 comma 0, this is a shear stress, normal stress, okay, and this one value is 1 comma 0, 1 comma 0. So the value is rho max equals to how much? First one, the average of that one, we can say this is the second one. Third one, for rotation about x axis, the stress condition is, for first one is z axis, rotation about z axis, this is y axis. Next is rotation about x axis, so stress value is, stress condition is what? Stress condition is how it comes. This is the diagram I can draw so that you can understand easily, right? So this is the value 0 0, we can say. So and this one is second, stress 2 comma 0. So this is a shear stress, normal stress. So T max equals, or maximum shear stress equal to delta 2 by 2 is the important point you have to remember. So hence absolute maximum shear stress, shear stress is maximum of what? Is max of shear stress 1 minus shear stress, this is 2 divided by 2, right, comma 1 by 2 comma second by 2, right. So this is the value we have to remember. So answer for this question is, that is a none of the above. In case of biaxial stress means always remember x, y, z. Biaxial means in 3 direction. So the maximum value of shear stress is given by this one. Question number 16th. If the normal stress due to longitudinal transverse loads on a bar of delta 1, delta 2 or stress 1, stress 2 respectively, the tangential component of the stress on a inclined plane through the theta, the longitudinal load is. This is a repeated question, already we have done, right. So the tangential stress, how can we calculate? You can see this one, you know, right. This is in previous question only we have taken. This is the normal condition and this is the what, in inclined condition, or we can say tangential condition or inclined plane. This is inclined plane. So this is the first value of this one. They are asking about the tangential stress, so it will become the 1 minute, it will become 2 1, that is stress 1 minus stress 2 divided by sine 2 theta by 2. This is the formula you have to remember. Okay, so the answer for the given question is C. Next, maximum strain energy theory for a failure of a material at the elastic limit is known as. Maximum strain energy theory for the failure of a material at the elastic theory, what we can say, that is an Higgs theory. That is an what? Higgs theory. So the maximum strain energy or Bechtamium-High theory, what actually they are telling that total strain energy per unit volume observed at a point should not be less than or equal to the total strain energy per unit volume under uniaxial loading when the material is subjected to stress up to elastic limit. And the second one is total energy per unit volume is given by this formula. Okay, and maximum energy per unit volume under uniaxial loading is Fy square divided by 2E, right. And these are the formulas you have to remember for the this max strain energy theory. If you want, you can take the screenshot of this one, because this theory is applicable for the ductile material or not suitable for brittle material and not suitable for the pure shear case. They may ask the any question on this one. So for the design purpose we will take these two values, these two formulas. Next question, if a material fail, maximum principal stress exceeds the direct stress, right. Correct, this is a correct one. Maximum strain exceeds, that is the initial stress by Young's modulus, that is also correct. Maximum shear stress exceeds tau naught by, that is a shear stress by 2. All options are correct for the given question. How? So the maximum principal, a material may fail if maximum principal stress exceed the direct stress. So it should not be exceed. Maximum shear strain exceeds this one, normal stress by E, the design strain. Maximum shear stress exceeds this one. So maximum shear stress is what? That is a maximum shear stress, tau 1 minus tau 2 by 2, tau naught minus 0 by 2. So tau naught, that is the initial by 2, right. Total strain energy exceeds, right. So this is the formula you have to remember, these formulas and these values, right. These are the concepts you have to remember. Next question, question number 19. The strain energy theory, right, the strain energy theory for the failure of the material at elastic limit is known as, that we call it as what? Higgs theory. Just we already discussed maximum principal stress theory or Rankine theory or Lami's theory or max stress theory. So what we call that is maximum shear stress theory, maximum strain energy theory. All the names I have already given in the previous question. Next question. Which of the following statement is true? Shear stress on principal plane is 0. Right? Shear stress is principal plane is 0. This is the correct one. This one is correct. Shear stress on principal planes is maximum. No. Shear stress on principal plane is minimum. No. None of the above. How? Let me draw the diagram so that you can understand easily. Right? This is okay. Right? This is a circle. We can say this is normal stress. Right? In this direction, this is A point and this is B point. Right? This is at the center, and this one we call it as the shear. Okay, this one we call it as this point, we call it as D point, and this is the radius. Okay, so now every point on the Morse circle represents what? That is a state of stress. Now at point A and B, what we can say, that point A and B, what we can say? Shear stress is 0. Shear stress is 0. Where is A and B point? Where is A and B point? Right, this is A point and this is B point. A and B. A and B point shear stress is 0. Right, and normal stress or maximum. A and B. Normal stress. What? Normal stress. Normal stress or maximum. Maximum and minimum. Right? Maximum and minimum. Right? What we call that one? This maximum and minimum normal stress, or we call it as the principal stress. This maximum and minimum. Maximum and minimum normal stress. Normal stress. What we call that one? That is what are called principal stress. Are called principal stress. Principal stress. Right? Simple one. So the plane on which these principal stress act, or we call it as principal plane. The plane, let me write so that you can understand easily. The plane where on which these principal planes, this principal stress acts. Stress act is called what? That is principal plane. Principal plane. Now at point D, what we can say? At point D, what actually? And at E, point D and E. Point D and E. E means just opposite of this one. Point E, what we can say? That is the shear stress is maximum. Shear stress is maximum. Okay, so this point you have to remember. Right? Shear stress on principal plane is 0. Next question. Question number 21. Let me finish. We have only 3 questions. The tangential component of the stress on a plane inclined theta to the direction of the force may be obtained by multiplying the normal stress by. How you will multiply that one? How you will multiply that one? We have already done this one. Right? So that we can multiply by sine square theta. Right? That is a sine square theta is the answer for the given question. Right? That is a this. Okay, this one D is answer. Next question. Shear strain energy theory for a failure of a material at elastic limit is due to. Shear strain energy. So that we can study it already in the maximum shear strain energy theory. What actually it will tell? So the maximum strain energy in a body should be less than or equal to maximum shear strain energy under the uniaxial loading, right? For the design purpose, for design we have to take this formula. This theory is applicable for the ductile material. For 2D case you have to take this one, okay? And for pure shear you have to take these values and this one. Hence this theory is in perfect agreement with the case of pure shear, right? Pure shear. Now what is the answer for the given question is, that is the shear strain energy theory for a failure of material at elastic limit is due to the von Mises. Von Mises, they are asking the names of that scientists. Next question, the angle between the principal plane and the plane of maximum shear is what? Angle between principal plane and plane of maximum shear, what is that angle, right? What is that angle? That we can say the angle between principal plane and the plane of maximum shear stress is 45 degree and 135 degree, right? You can see in the sketch that the A, B and D, E point, right? So this is a 90 degree, right? At here they are saying this is 90 degree. When we rotate clockwise or anti-clockwise, right? So that is the angle between the principal plane and maximum shear plane, 90 by 2 or 270 by 2, that is a 45 or 135 degree. So this one, this value is tau max, maximum shear stress, and this one also, okay? So you have to make half of that one, 90 degree by 2 or 270 by 2, right? Next question, question number 24. The state of pure shear stress is produced by, the state of shear stress is produced by what? Tension in one direction and equal compression in perpendicular direction, equal tension in two direction at right angle, equal compression in two direction at right angle. So what is the answer for this question? So it is a state of pure stress, 1 minute, it is a state of pure shear stress will occur when the tension in one direction and equal compression in perpendicular direction. You can see in the sketch. So this is the element, right? So this one is tensile and this one is compression, because you can see the symbols, right? So in that condition, right, in tensile and compression conditions, right, equal compression in perpendicular direction, so they will be equally equal in both the directions. So what is the proof? How can we prove that one? If they have given in x direction and in y direction, with this normal stress is 0 at x, normal stress at y is 0, and this one is the normal stress, right? In xy we can take that is an shear stress. So that we can use using this. For 45 degree it is the shear stress, for 135 degree it is minus shear stress. So the if equal tension or equal compression occurs in two direction at right angle, then the point Mohr circle will be developed, right? The point Mohr circle will be developed, and equal tension force, we can say if it is an equal tension force and equal compression force, means in all direction, if this one is in tension, this one is in compression, so we can say this is first and this is second and this is third point, first, second, third. So radius of Mohr circle is given by both the direction, right? Both the direction, that is in tensile, half of root of tau y minus tau x square plus 4 the shear stress whole square. So this formula you have to use for both direction when it is in compression. So point Mohr circle, Mohr point circle for equal tension, it is here, right? It is at here, but for the Mohr circle for equal compression it is here, okay? So means, for example, this is like this. So for Mohr circle equal tension it is here, and for compression it is here, right? You have to remember these points. So the answer for the given question is, that is a equal tension in one direction. So by completing this question, we have completed the questions on the stress strain theory. Please like, comment and share, and do subscribe our YouTube channel Civil with Sudhir to get more videos like in the future also. So this we have completed the stress strain, right? So in the next class I am bringing you the next question on the bending stresses in the beam. So very important classes. Please like, comment and share, and do subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you and all. Have a nice day. Jai Hind.